Peanuts, for the most part, is a vocally driven story. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens when you hear the first voices. See who's doing Charlie Brown, see who's doing Peppermint, that kind of thing.
Personally, if they don't have the adults doing that wah, 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 fuck it.
Well, they might not have adults at all. So, could just be the kids. You know, they walk up, say one please, and then just walk off. A lot of times when they did that for like ticket takers and whatnot, even though you knew an adult was there, they never said anything.
Yeah, before like the school teacher and Charlie Brown's mom. You know.
Well, no, Mrs. Othmar and Charlie Brown, the only ones who got voices were ones who had names usually, or were important. Most of the, like camp counselors or something like that. But if it was just random interaction, a lot of the time you didn't hear from them. So there's a possibility they could pull this off. I don't know how they do it, but again, I don't have any real information on it yet. So we'll have to sit back and see what goes on there. Still, it's at least something to talk about other than Warlords of Draenor.
Sure. There's also, a few other things coming out. I mean, there's the next expansion of Rift that's launching soon or already launched. And then there's the next expansion of the Old Republic as other fine examples of things that are coming up here soon. Mind you, that they are throwing this shit out shortly after the new, WoW expansion drops. So obviously they're trying to stun the beast.
They're not going to, though. There's no way they'll even come close to matching up with World of Warcraft.
Oh, the Old Republic has they've got a good way to get people in. Raven. Enough said right there.
I don't know who that is, but
Raven, for those who were a little outside the games, if you played Knights of the Old Republic, if I'm remembering correct, Knights of the Old Republic, he was pretty much the main character of those games. He starts out as like a He starts out neutral, becomes a Jedi, turns into a Sith, and then kind of falls in between the two. Yeah, he's always a Sith from now on, or treated like a Sith, but he came back towards the light, so he's a light Sith. It's fucking weird, but he was actually a very much in the middle character. Right. He was looking. He was Darth Revengeance, but he had a purpose. He wasn't a bad guy necessarily, but he wasn't a good guy.
Right. And I think you'll find some as they try to get into lore again now. I think for a fact there's been times that's happened. It's just they don't, because of, I think, how the stories were told and how they were supposed to go, you never really heard about them. So hopefully we'll hear some more out of them now that we have this a little more opened up.
Well, this is literally coming off of the Knights of the Old Republic, the game series.
Right.
Raven Darth Raven makes an appearance in the Old Republic as is. He is part of the Sith starting quest line when you hit, what is that? Korriban? Yeah, Korriban. When you are traveling around and you run across the Sith acolytes. Oh, not that far from the main city, and one of them says, "Oh, you know, found the tomb of an ancient, you know, Sith Lord," and da da da. Well, an old, you know, a dead Sith Lord, da da da. And you get sent to it, and one of the anyways, the Raven makes an appearance there as a the Force ghost, sort of. He's dead, but he's not dead. It's very metaphysical.
Right.
I personally am annoyed by the fact that Raven's a guy in the game, because I thought it was funnier when Raven was a chick.
Yeah, I guess now that I think about it, I did too. But we were lucky enough to get into Knights of the Old Republic and stuff like that. I never heard about it. So,
like I said, I may not like Star Wars. I at least try to stay up to date on the fucking mythos. Which is why I'm sitting there looking at the new movies coming out and going, just shoot me now.
see, I know nothing of the movies coming out. I know just enough to know that that a lot of the original trilogy people are in it, which they have to be, given how they're going. They're going in the future now. So those people, if not they're in body, they need to be there and be mentioned, because they're the ones that, those characters are going to be the ones that this world is built on. So hey, if they're all there and they're willing to come on and do it, then yay for them, because that will make things, that'll make the transition easier. The thing I'm worried about is, what are they going to, how long are those characters going to stick around? Are they going to be like Darth Vader and, you know, be a main figure? Or are they going to be like Ben Kenobi? They'll be in the first one, they'll help set it up, and every now and then if they feel the need, they'll make an appearance. But they, after the first one, they kind of pass the torch off. I hope it's the second one, because I really don't know how you'd work people like that into something like that long term. Or if you'd even want to, really.
Yeah. Well, from what I've heard a few conflicting stories about the plot of the upcoming Star Wars movie, and I personally want to put a gun under my chin and make the hole bigger. Because holy shit. One version of the plot I've heard about, and this is from moderately credible sources.
Right.
Blows my mind. Blows my mind in such a way I want to blow out my mind. That it literally would focus around Luke's cut off hand from Empire will become a main part of the story of the new one.
Somebody's been watching Doctor Who, haven't they?
That was kind of my thing. I'm like, no, God so help me if that actually becomes part of the plot, I might have a homicidal rampage. Dealt with that shit in Doctor Who. Never again. Never again.
Okay, I didn't catch all that. What?
I said, we dealt with that shit in Doctor Who. Never again.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why they keep doing that.
Oh god. Sorry, I just read a Facebook post by a friend. This is what happens when I stop to, catch up on my news feed real quick. And this was almost a they had almost a puke and snot setup, and I'm very disappointed because they are an SCA person. They're very much in the Renaissance, recreation and stuff, and they didn't run with the puke and snot joke. They had a perfect puke and snot joke. I'm disappointed in them. I must razz them here a bit.
I want to be interested in that stuff, but honestly, I know I won't be able to afford to go to it anyway. Let's be clear on that. I don't have any money. So, and I don't know, maybe I've gotten older. I just am not all that interested in Star Wars or Star Trek, really. I'm kind of wondering how in the hell are these two franchises still going on in this day and age? Oh well.
Yeah. Well, Star Wars, now that it's become a Disney franchise, it's becoming not like the overweight dying cow that it is. Kind of like Carrie Fisher. And I'm sorry, they should have just, as I said before, they should have gone, if they were going to do any sort of new Star Wars shit, they should have gone with the old public. There is so much more storyline to play with. So much more storyline to play with, and such a broader world to play with, without endangering, the fanboy's existence, without, endangering the fanboy's mentality of, how things are currently are,
Yeah. I don't know. I guess the thing with me is, and we talked about this before, I don't know how many people even know who started in that. You've got Carrie Fisher, who hasn't been around for ages. Of the two that are even really actively working on screen, you have Harrison Ford, who people will most likely remember now from Indiana Jones, because yes, he did the fourth one, but mom and dad can say, well, that was part of a trilogy, and introduce people to him that way. And you have Mark Hamill, who's mainly a voice actor now. So I really wonder, I know this is the Muppet effect that we've talked about before, where the seventh film will have to, they're going to try and bring in all the families, the moms and the dads and the kids, so they're going to want to have the jokes and the people that only the adults get, while at the same time trying to rope in a younger generation. So you'll have your Kermit the Frogs and whatnot down there making the kids happy, and then you'll have Statler and Waldorf up in the back, who are the older characters that can say things that the adults remember, and that will be their excuse to go see the movie. But yeah, like you said, I think it was you that said, well, people will remember Mark Hamill, he was the original Luke Skywalker, and then it dawned on us, no, he was the original Luke Skywalker 30 years ago. He's done a shitload of stuff since. So, for all anybody, like my nieces,
he played he played a character that was designed to mock Luke Skywalker, combined with the Joker. So mocking the two big characters that he's known for in a stoner movie, where they even threw out, "Hey kids, it's Mark Hamill." in the middle of the movie.